Hey everybody, I'm Ebony. This is Ebonee's Creativity. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Today I have for you a flip slash restore. This piece, I just loved it so much in its original condition that I could not bear to paint it. Many of you may not know this, but I also coupon as a side hobby, hustle, whatever you want to call it. And I was at the CVS couponing one day and I saw this piece at their dumpster. Somebody literally abandoned this at the CVS dumpster. So I was there right on time to save it and give it love. It is a beautiful, gorgeous piece. I don't think I'm going to sell it. I may have it appraised just to see if it is worth anything. I think it's from the 1890s or early 1900s. I think it would have been like a server, a place where they would store like their cookware, a buffet. Sometimes we call it a sideboard. Many names for it, but the same thing, kind of like a cabinet to put in your dining room and store dishes and pots and pans and such. So I absolutely love this piece. I could not bear to paint it. I just wanted all of its natural beauty to shine through. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe and let's hop right on into the video.
It's Ebonee's Creativity.
This piece has just about everything that beautiful furniture is made from. Solid wood construction, beautiful details. Look at these C-scrolls. Look at the locks details. Also, one of the drawer faces was with this piece on the side of the dumpster. So I did pick that up as well and I was able to use it. So stay tuned to see how. The bones of this piece are in really, really great condition. However, some of the stain, as you can see, is chipped really bad in certain areas. And in other areas, it's stuck on like extremely well. So you will see the struggle that I endured trying to get this stain off in certain areas later in the video. But as far as the bones, like I said, it's in pretty good condition. It is a beautiful piece. It has a couple cut marks on the top and some marks in the inside, and it is filthy dirty. When I'm telling you filthy dirty, I mean filthy dirty. I don't know exactly how much of that you can pick up from the camera, but this is the dirtiest piece I have ever come across. It feels like it's been in somebody's garage, just kind of wasting away, and they finally just chucked it. So I'm happy to pick up abandoned pieces because that's what I love. Check out the wood on the backside of those doors. Look at that beautiful tiger wood. It is so gorgeous. Oh my God, I could not bear to ever paint this. So check out the inside. Filthy dirty. It has some cup stains, like I said, and some marks from where the stain was originally applied. I think this has been refinished before. And if it wasn't, someone did at least change the knobs from the original knobs. In this bucket, I have some water, some Dawn, and some Simple Green. And I am just going to be wiping this piece down. As I said, I think it had been abandoned long before I found it. Maybe in a garage. I don't see any obvious signs of water damage, which would make me think that it was outside. But it was being rained on when I found it. And it is filthy, visibly filthy dirty. So check out how much dirt just from this one small area that I wiped. Check that out. It is a filthy dirty, but that will not deter me because I love this piece. I think it is so gorgeous and I know that it can be cleaned up and made to look amazing again. But I did spend maybe an hour and a half just cleaning because it is that dirty. And as I wiped, not only was dirt coming off in large quantities, also some of the stain that's chipping like on that drawer at the top started to come off as well. So it was just a hot mess. I did spend a really long time cleaning this, longer than I have spent cleaning any other piece. I had to change the water maybe about 8 times in total. So as you can see, this is just the dirt from the top. So it's no joke. It's a lot to get through. Here's how everything looked after it was all clean. That was a lot of work, but I'm very happy that I was able to get that done. And now I can kind of see the piece better and I can see exactly which areas I actually need to sand because like I said, a lot of the finish came off as I was wiping. If you look at this cabinet door down at the bottom right, you can see hardly any finish is remaining just from cleaning. So that was a good sign, I thought, in terms of sanding. I figured, okay, if it's peeling that bad, maybe, it'll be really easy to get it off, but God had other plans for me and this piece. The inside cleaned up relatively well, and I found this note inside. I don't know what it says. It looks like around and I will. So you can tell me what you think it says because all I can see is around. I don't know what the word at the bottom is. It looks like WAE to me. That I don't know what that means. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think this note says. Up next, I wanted to remove these C-scrolls so that they would not block me from sanding or staining. However, as I went to remove them, I noticed that most of them were already broken and they were kind of just wedged in with the nails. And so as soon as I removed the nails, they all broke into pieces. So you will see me repairing those later in the video, but every single last one of them broke into pieces. Up next, I'm just removing the knobs. Now, I told you guys initially that I thought sanding this piece would be really easy. One, because it was all made from hardwood, so I didn't have to try to worry about sanding through veneer or any of that. Everything is just made from solid wood. And some of the areas, like I said before, were coming off as I was cleaning, so that was a good indication to me that the stain would be coming off quickly. On certain areas, like you can see now, I was able to breeze through, but in certain areas, it was just so stuck on. It would not come off. I sanded this piece for about 8 hours over the course of a couple of days. You can see me hand sanding. You can see me sanding with the orbital sander. You can see me using the Dremel in certain areas. I mean, in certain places, this stain was not budging easily. So this took quite a while. I literally sanded from sunup to sundown one day. So here is how it looked after I was done with my first day of sanding. As you can see, it's still very dark in certain areas, but in certain areas, there's no trace that it ever had that really dark brown stain. So after this day, I am calling it a rest for the night, and I will be back to try to get some of those areas that I was not able to get on the first day on the next day. Here's how that drawer front and the knobs sanded down. When I pulled the drawer out, I noticed that it was pretty weak and it was kind of lopsided, so I went ahead and reinforced that drawer with some wood glue, and then I was able to clamp that and allow it to dry overnight to re-strengthen it. I'll also be fixing the C-scrolls with some Gorilla Glue. So I am going to just add a little bit of glue. I didn't want to squeeze it out of the bottle and have it ooze out onto the front or the sides of my scrolls. I just wanted to put the amount that I needed with my finger and then place the pieces together, and then I wrap them with some painter's tape so that they would be allowed to dry, and they worked out really well with this method. Here's how those looked when they were all put back together again. Up next, I went ahead and started to cut the pieces that I would need for my new drawers as well as for the new drawer front. Here, I'm just kind of doing a dry fitting of the bottoms of the new drawers. And once I realized that they fit great, I wanted to go ahead and get back to sanding. So I will be back to finish up the drawers later on in the video. After using my Dremel and going back in doing some more hand sanding, I just decided that I done all I could do with regard to sanding this piece, and I just had to stop at that point. So here is what it looked like once I got everything that I was able to get off. So at this point, you already saw me cut out the bottoms for my drawers and do the dry fitting to make sure that they went into the spaces provided. So now I am just going to build the rest of the drawer. I'm simply just making a box. I'm using the existing drawer front for one of my drawers, and then I'm going to make a drawer front for the other. So I've already cut all my pieces. At this point, they are not glued down. This is just simply my dry fitting of the drawer. I started out with just a little bit of glue and just a few nails so that I could make sure that this would fit. I literally put like just a couple in each corner to make sure it didn't fall apart when I pushed it in. So now I'm just doing a dry fitting before I attach the face, and it looks like everything is fitting pretty well. So I am very happy about that. Now I'm just making sure that there's space for the front and that it will be flush when I attach the front, and it is looking great. So you get a nice big thumbs up. After seeing that it fit well, I attached the face just with some more brad nails, and I put a bunch of more brad nails to make sure it was really stable, and then I built another drawer in the exact same way as the first one. Because the drawer that I made completely from scratch was a different species of wood from the drawer front that I found, I was afraid that they may not take the stain the same way. And so I went ahead and brought all the drawers in and I stained all of those together just to make sure that everything would look cohesive. I know I can't get an exact match with different species of wood, but I wanted to make sure that after I stained them, they would look, even if they didn't look like identical twins, they would at least look like sisters. So I think I was able to achieve that, but I just wanted to make sure that I would be. So I did start out my staining with just the three drawers. Next morning, I brought the dresser body back in and I started to wipe that down. And then I was able to start staining that as well. I don't think I mentioned, but the stain that I'm using is called Weathered Oak by Minwax. It just is kind of the same color as this dresser is now, but it has a little bit of gray in it. And so I thought that would be nice. I didn't want to stain it back that dark brown color that it was before, but I did want to give it a stain similar to its natural look, but just a little bit enhanced. So I thought weathered oak would be the perfect stain to use to do that. Every time I see the impression from where those sea scrolls were, I keep thinking of the show Bad Girls Club. So like the video if you watched that show. Hopefully I didn't age myself too much with that comment. Normally, I would have used the wood conditioner on this, but the reason that I did not is because I wanted there to be some color variation. You can see what I meant when I said the top two drawers were made from different species of wood, and so they kind of look more like sisters or cousins than twins, which I'm fine with because I think it looks beautiful still, and I'm happy I was able to restore it to its original function. But I'm not a professional restorer and I don't have any wood from the early 1900s laying around. So I had to do the best I could with whatever they had at Lowe's. I wanted to make sure that there was color variation throughout the piece just so that that would not be so noticeable. So that's why I did not use conditioner and try to get like a solid stain color. I wanted there to be variation all around just so that, those pieces could blend in as much as possible. Here's how everything looked after the first coat of stain, and I did add a second coat just to make sure that I had full coverage. To top coat, I am using the Minwax Wipe On Poly, and after my second coat of stain, I'm just going to be applying this. I'm just using a lint-free rag and kind of buffing the poly into the surface, and I will be doing 2 coats of that. I did also apply the same stain and top coat to the C-scrolls as well as to the knobs, since they were all totally wooden as well. And after my second coat was dry, I did go back and reattach those knobs. I could have picked something more modern, but I just kind of wanted this piece to just be as it was. Didn't want to make it glam, didn't want to paint it. I just wanted it to be. I have been watching a lot of restorers here on YouTube. Some of us are furniture painters. Some people are furniture purists slash restorers, and they just bring stuff back to its natural beauty. And so I felt like this was the perfect piece to try to do that with. I'm not a professional restorer by any means, but I do think I was able to give this the original look. To reattach my C-scrolls, I pushed them back into the holes that I could see from the original nails, which are still stuck in them, and then I lightly tapped it with my hammer to put them back in place. And as a finishing touch, I'm going to be taking some of this Howard feed-in wax and just using this to polish and condition the wood in the inside, in the drawers, underneath the drawers. I put it everywhere, even places that are not visible, just because I know that it will give longevity to the wood, and it made everything smell really nice. So as I finish polishing, I just want to pop in one last time and request that you subscribe to my channel. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I am all done polishing, so let's hop into the final finished product.
It's Ebony's creativity. It's Ebony's creativity.
If you have the time, please select another one of my videos to watch from the choices on your screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next flip.